Alright, so today we're looking at three different kind of peaks. Davenport Hill, Honeycomb Cliffs, and Prince of Wales. So first I just parked down at this kind of Alta Rustlers thing, and then the trail just right here. It's kind of hidden away, but you can find it if you use a map. And then it just starts off pretty normal, pretty well maintained trail, a lot of aspen, nothing too hard. And then here we can see we're on this road now, going up to the first peak. And there's a nice little buck there. He got pretty spooked, and he ran back up the hill, slurped away into that bush. Let's see, there he is. And then now we're just coming into this little valley kind of area. And we can see this cool little cave. I don't know what kind of mineral or stone that blue stuff is. But it's pretty cool. If you know what it is, leave a comment. Here's another big cave of the same material. It must have been what these guys were mining. There's a ton of mining stuff up here, as you will see. Then a bit of a surprise for me is, as I was looking for a place to put geocache, I stumbled across this big moose and immediately wanted to get out of there so it didn't stampede me. So I just slowly walked away and then just got out of there. But the moose is just kind of following the same path I was, so I was kind of worried a little bit, but it's just, you know, you gotta be careful. Then this guy is just straight up vibing, and you know, oh! Alright, so here's a little geocache I found by this cool old boiler for mining. Just sitting out here. I wonder why they don't get rid of all this stuff, but I'm glad they didn't, because it's cool to look at. And as I was looking around, the moose is back. And this time it was getting a little bit closer to me. And then as I turned around, I saw it had a baby, which makes it even more dangerous. So if you see a moose, you're kind of screwed, but if you also see a moose and a baby, you need to get out of there. Because they are very protective of their babies, and this is a little guy. And they weren't too worried of me. I was still far enough away where they couldn't charge me in time. And you can kind of see the mama has like a tracker on it, so it's probably used to some human interaction at the very least. So it probably just wasn't some crazy insane moose, but still, you gotta be careful. Don't get too close. Just far enough away where you can take a picture, because they will mess you up, especially if they have a baby, so you need to watch out. They're kind of cute though, but they're really big and scary, so watch where you're going. That's all I have to say. And then a relative to the moose, the rabbit deer. I'm just kidding, it's not a rabbit deer, but he has little rabbit ears, and he's just chilling there. He knows I'm there, but he just doesn't really care. Okay, now we're looking at the little pass up here. On the left will be Davenport Hill, but you can just see all the ridge lines off in Little Cottonwood, and that's kind of the way we came. And then down there is, of course, Alta. And my car is actually parked right there, which is kind of weird, but I can see it from here. And then here's just more of the trail. There's a geocache right there, had SpongeBob swag. So that trail will lead to Honeycomb, and then this one is where we're going right now. Alright, so we're on top of Davenport Hill, and someone left a little ski up here for us as a little marker. And I couldn't find any place markers up here, but I mean, I guess it's a hill. It's not really that big. But yeah, really good views. It's less smoky today than usual. And really great weather. So just looking around, see what around. Seeing is what. Well, I'm not even going to try. Okay, just continuing on this trail to Prince of Wales. And then these guys, there's just a ton of deer everywhere. They're like a little cautious. And then they're like, well, I guess we'll just look at them. Okay, here we are at Prince of Wales, kind of the base of this little peak. And as you can see, there's a lot of old mining stuff. So this was probably some kind of pulley that brought up all the ore and stuff. And I'm not really sure what this is. Maybe some kind of furnace or something. Or maybe a water boiler. I don't know. And then over here, you can see they've really closed in all of the access to these mines. They go pretty deep and spooky. But as I'll show here on this other one, there's kind of like squares cut into them. So I wonder if people did that themselves just to break in these mines and spelunk. But I'm not into that. But if you do want to go spelunk, there's a little square. I feel like a person could easily fit through that. If you want to spelunk, here's where you go, I guess. Probably illegal, but try it out, I guess. And yeah, you can go down this bowl over here too, which I might do some other time. But right now I'm just going to stay on the peak and get these peaks. Alright, so there was the other mini peak of Prince of Wales. And here is the other one, which is a couple feet higher than that other one. So I'm going to guess this is the peak of Prince of Wales. Alright, and that is where we need to go. That is the Honeycomb Cliffs. And up there, that little pole is the very top. So here we go. As you can see, there's kind of a trail up this little ridge. It kind of gets scary in some parts, but really not that bad. And then here's a very kind of final stretch almost. And we are at the top. Just over there is the, oh, here we are. Alright, so this is the top of Honeycomb Cliffs. I'm not really sure why it's called that. I'm not getting really a honeycomb vibe or a cliff vibe. But someone thought it was a good name, so they got to name it. And there's some kind of research station thing maybe here. Not really sure what that is, but if you know what that is, let me know. Probably to collect some kind of data for some nerds out there. Yeah, you can look down into Big Cottonwood over there. You can go down this bowl into the Brighton area. Yeah, just a lot of peaks over here. Now we have to decide how we get down this. So I kind of found this little trail pretty close to the peak. It's going kind of southish. It's right by that sign if you can find that. It's more of a trail than what I went up. And eventually I find this little trail cutting across, and then down there is the trail that we came up. So I'm just like, I'm gonna beeline it to that trail because I know that's where I need to go. So I just cross this and go back down. And this is kind of where I came out of the trail thing. And as you can see, we've been here before, and now I just have to go back down. And as I was getting pretty close to the car, I heard the squawking. I saw this big raven fellow. He was really making a ruckus. He's making some weird movements. But yeah, if you see raven, it's a good sign. So, you know, watch out for ravens. Alright, so I rate these hikes using 3 criteria: solitude, scenery, and difficulty. Solitude is just how many people are on the trail out with you. Scenery is just the good views around you. And then difficulty is just how hard the hike is. So for solitude, I give a 7. I didn't see anyone on the trail besides on the very end when I was getting close to the car. No one on the ridges, no one's on the peaks. That could be because it's a Wednesday, but it'll probably get a lot busier on the weekends too. Overall, 7. Also looking down at the the Snowbird / Alta area, kind of detracts from being out in the wilderness, so that's why it's kind of lower. And scenery's a 9, just lots of awesome views out there of all the ridges, lots of cool wildlife, lots of different little environments out there. So yeah, solid 9, but again, kind of the buildings down below, and sometimes you can kind of hear like construction machines going on, kind of detracts from it. And also the cool mine stuff adds a couple points to scenery. Then difficulty, it's probably a 7 overall if you go on the peaks that I did. the first chunk of the trail, probably the first mile, is basically just on a road. So that's pretty easy. Going on the ridges, some of them are a little bit rocky, but if you kind of go on the right trails, you'll be on the trail the whole time. That's pretty steep. The main peak I went up to today was kind of like almost 11,000, so it's up there. Alright, so if you enjoyed this video, do whatever you want, and be careful of moose. Have a nice day.